Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. And today on the channel I'm going to be talking about a brand new drama horror film premiering on Shudder on October 13th. Before I get to my thoughts on this brand new film, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, comment below your thoughts on this film, and also turn the notification bell so you never miss any review or any video that I post on this channel, and I upload weekly. And now without further ado, let's dive into this new film. An aging film star retreats to the Scottish countryside with her nurse to recover from surgery. While there, mysterious forces of revenge emerge from the land where witches were burned. The film stars Alice Krige, Coda Eberhardt, Rupert Everett, Malcolm McDowell, and was directed by Charlotte Colbert. She-Ra was actually on my radar before I even watched this film. I heard about this film from another YouTuber, and I knew about it months back. And I was planning to watch this film, and I heard a few months ago that this film was actually going to be on Shudder, and Shudder actually sent me a screening to watch this film. So I really was interested in actually watching this film, and I didn't really know much about it, just a small review about the film. But I can really tell you offhand that this film is very visually done very well. There's a lot of really good shots between forests and mountainsides, and it was shot in Scotland, so there is a lot of beautiful landscape shots throughout this film. There is a really good soundtrack. Throughout this film, you really do feel like you're in the mood of a horror film in a way, and I like that they did a really good job with the camera work. I do have to praise, there was one certain shot that I did write down when I was watching this film in my notes, and it was a shot where they're actually in the woods. And the camera, the way that they actually did the camera and how they went under this spider web, it was really cool. And they actually shot up at the sky, and the way that they did the shot and how they tilted the camera, I really did like the atmosphere and what they did during this actual sequence of the film. But I would be lying if I said that this film was actually really good, to be honest. The biggest thing that really bugged me about this film is you have Veronica. She is going to this retreat house with her nurse. She just had surgery. And when she gets to this retreat house, she meets all these different people. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe these people that she's actually meeting, they're going to be really strange and they're going to cause havoc, and there's going to be a lot of problems amongst all these people. Nope, that's not what this film is about. They literally show that scene with all these strange people, and we never hear from them again in the film. A lot of this film is centralized on Veronica. She is having a lot of dreams and past trauma and nightmares, and certain things are pulled out of her dreams, like mud, for instance. And we have a lot of rinse and repeat with those dreams. And visually, you get a lot of cool visuals. You'll have some visuals of like witches and stuff, and a lot of different past traumas that Veronica has faced. But that's really all this film really is. There isn't really any sort of message with this film. It has a very one-sided message that actually portrays with Veronica's actual story and the nightmares that she's having. But it doesn't really examine anything more of that actual one-sided message. I never really cared about any of the other characters. They really don't have any lines. There's a lot of parts in this film where there's no dialogue. You're looking at a lot of cool visuals. You have some really cool soundtrack. But in this kind of film, and supposedly supposed to be a horror film, you gotta have a plot. You gotta have a story. And this film never ever gets into a story. It's very frustrating. It's very disjointed. It feels like it has no idea what it wants to be. It wants to give you all these cool visuals. And I have to say, sometimes with this new elevated horror and artsy-fartsy kind of films, they tend to forget that they have to have a story. It's cool to have visuals and it's cool to have a cool soundtrack, but you gotta have some type of message. You gotta have something that you're trying to get the audience to actually see. You can't just have cool visuals on the screen. The acting here, it's not bad, but the problem is because there isn't really much of a plot, how can you feel for the characters? You have a little bit of feeling towards the main character, Veronica, and it's very interesting that she plays a plot of being this person that just got out of surgery. I saw her in a film called Hansel and Gretel a few years ago, and she was an evil witch. So it was interesting to see her in a role where she wanted to be a little bit more sympathetic, I guess, with all her past traumas, and you're, trying to feel sorry for her. But really, I really didn't feel sorry for her, and I didn't understand in this film why we have all these different visions of witches on this whole retreat. What did it really have to do with the film? It didn't have anything to really do with Veronica's story here. And the whole nurse that was actually with her, she really didn't serve any purpose either. She really didn't have much dialogue throughout the film, and it just seemed like a waste as we go through this film. By the time this film actually gets to the ending, there really isn't much of an impact. There's no weight to the ending. You just feel like you just wasted your time watching a film that has the most worthless plot. It didn't make any sense that we had a film that had all these visuals, a soundtrack that is pretty good, and some decent acting, but nothing to really show for it in the end. I guess if you really like sound, soundtrack, cinematography, this film will really be right up your alley. If you don't really care about a plot, this film is definitely going to be for you. But it's really hard for me to recommend a film like this and really even talk about it because there's not really a lot to talk about. That's why this review is a little bit shorter than some of my other reviews. I really didn't have many notes for this film, and there isn't really a lot to talk about to even tell you guys. So I'm going to give a score of this film a 1.5 out of 5. I'm curious though, what do you guys think about this film? Do you feel the same as me, or do you feel like this film is actually really good and it's really up your alley? It wasn't for me, and I have no reason to ever really revisit this film. Thank you guys for watching this review, and I'll see you guys on my next one.